Nowadays, it seems like everybody has a record label, but in hip-hop's early days, there were a handful of them that concentrated on rap music. Def Jam, Bad Boy, Death Row, Ruthless, and No Limit are often thrown in the discussion of iconic rap labels, but one entity that had a huge impact on hip-hop that's often forgotten is Loud Records. One question sparked the idea for the creation of this video. Was Loud Records the perfect rap label? The quick answer to that is no. Different labels work for different people. Even though Loud is not what it was in the 90s, I think that there's a lot that can be learned from their model that may help artists and label owners. The label was started in 1991 by Steve Rifkind, and according to him, the name was an acronym for Listeners of Urban Dialect. The label's roster got commercial and critical success, which is the dream of many labels. After all, the key purpose of a record label is to capture and monetize audio recordings. Loud managed to find that delicate balance between artistic authenticity and commercial appeal that eludes many artists. To give some context of its impact, you just have to look at the roster of artists they had. There was Big Pun, Mobb Deep, Dead Prez, M.O.P., Twista, The Alcoholics, the Wu-Tang Clan, and 3 6 Mafia, to name a few. From my study, I deduced that there are 4 things that helped the label find success. The first is artistic freedom, which made Loud loved by its artists. The label did not interfere with the creative process of the artists and did not try to force them to create radio-friendly music. Instead, Steve Rifkind has gone on record that he gave his artists the freedom to create whatever they wanted with minimal input, and that resulted in high-quality work. Again, if you look back at the roster that I mentioned, none of those artists are what you may call clean-cut radio-friendly guys, but they still managed to have a high level of commercial and critical success. The second factor that helped Loud succeed was their marketing approach. Loud Records used street teams for marketing their artists. Prior to starting the label, Steve Rifkind worked alongside his father on the road in the music business. During that time, he built relationships with college DJs and various people within the industry. That formed the basis of his street team and marketing network, which proved to be highly effective. This marketing approach circumvented mainstream radio, TV, print magazines, and mass media, which were very costly and used heavily by the bigger labels. Instead, Loud used a grassroots approach of targeting its audience directly through posters, independent college radio stations, word of mouth, and a more direct marketing approach. It was a simple but very effective idea. The third thing that Loud did is it took chances with the artists it signed. For instance, Steve Rifkind signed the Alcoholics on the spot not long after meeting them. Another artist, Twista, was signed when he only had 2 songs to his name at a time when Chicago wasn't really recognized as a rap city. In another instance, Big Pun was signed to the label after only performing one freestyle for Steve Rifkind. Steve took a chance, and as a result, Big Pun released Capital Punishment, which became the first solo rap album by a Latino rapper to go platinum. One more instance where Loud took a chance was when Steve Rifkind signed the Wu-Tang Clan as a group, but he also gave them the freedom to sign solo deals with other labels, which at the time was unheard of. That signing spawned the biggest hip-hop group to date, and in my opinion, was Steve Rifkind's most important signing. So, taking chances ended up being a key factor to Loud's success. The fourth key thing I observed was that Loud Records seemed to have had a genuine love for the music and culture, and it pushed its artists relentlessly. In short, it had a never-say-die attitude. For instance, there was an occasion where Steve Rifkind got arrested for throwing a chair at a lawyer who didn't want to sign Money Over that was meant for Raekwon. It's rare to hear of that level of passion from a record executive. On a related note about passion, in the year 2000, Steve Rifkind started a label called SRC Records. He signed Akon to it, and he pushed the single Locked Up for a year and a half until it became a hit single. Having that kind of relentless passion helped Loud to achieve the success that they did. But eventually, the label's golden days came to a close when it was sold to Sony and all the artists transitioned into the Sony system. Steve conformed to Sony's way of work, which he said wasn't a good fit for him, and slowly but surely, Loud's reign of success wound down. Many of its key artists eventually moved to different labels and pursued other interests. Steve went on to have massive success with SRC Records with artists such as Akon, Terror Squad, and David Banner. Loud Records, alongside Def Jam, Interscope, Bad Boy, and Death Row, helped to push rap across the globe and help shape many artists that will continue to influence future generations. That's it for this one. Share, like, and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and let me know your thoughts in the comments section. I'm Kondwan. See you in the next one.